Right, my name is Lwando Baleni and I am a Seabird Ranger here on Dyer Island Nature Reserve, which is located about 8 to 10 kilometers from Plain Bay Harbour. Basically, I'm an avid conservationist. I'm someone who's very passionate about working in the natural environment, and yeah, we are on Dyer Island. So the work that we do is mainly working with seabirds and working with African penguins in particular, Cape cormorants, crown cormorants, white-breasted cormorants. We have a lot of swift terns, roseate terns here on the island. So this is basically one of our main breeding grounds for these bird species here on the southern part of South Africa. And yeah, there's a lot of effort that we've put into like conservation and sort of keeping this area as natural as possible. Working with various partners, Cape Nature included. So this is basically a protected area that we assist them in sort of running this with the logistics and the manpower, and just basically ensuring that everything is running smoothly on Dyer Island. African penguins, they are critically endangered, unfortunately, so the population numbers have declined considerably over the last 50 to 60 years. We work a lot. We have a lot of resources, a lot of time, energy invested in sort of establishing stability amongst the African penguin population. They are very resilient species. In my opinion, they've been going through a lot, whether it's predation, whether it's the distance they have to travel to get their food supply, resistance from the fishing industry, oil spills, etc. So they are very resilient species, and yeah, they're one of our tougher seabirds. This is their natural habitat, so they spend about 12 hours in the water and 12 hours on land, and they've got specialized fur or feathers rather, to sort of waterproofing, assisting them staying longer in the water. And they basically feed on sardines mainly, so they're basically one of our priority species here on Dyer Island Nature Reserve. So the breeding season started in the middle of February, and it will go on up until around about September, end of September, early October. So yeah, basically the penguins are breeding at the moment. So you'll see a lot of them in their nests. So they basically work on the co-parenting system. So one parent would go out to basically forage for food, or basically just look out for food, and then the other parent would basically spend their time in the nest with the eggs or with the chicks, just basically looking after them and nurturing them, and ensuring that they work on that co-parenting system, and they work on the whole teamwork system. So at the moment we have quite a lot of penguins that have been receiving chicks. So yeah, so it's looking positive at the moment. We're still relatively early into our breeding season, but the signs are there that it's going to be a successful breeding season. Absolutely. So they are one of our measures that we put in place to sort of fight the whole guano harvesting, which happened many years ago. So guano was actually used as a fertilizer, and the penguins needed that guano to sort of help with the burrowing of their nests. They used that, and the burrows that were in the guano was very, very important for them. It was crucial, and it also assisted in sort of like protecting them from predation, from predatory species, and so forth. So the nests are measures that we put in place. The nests actually help with protecting them from predators. They stay relatively cool in warm temperatures, and it's basically just a bit of shelter to assist with the harsh conditions that the island can have, especially with the winter months, heavy rainfall. This place is typically known for winter rainfall, so there's a lot of work that has been put into this nest program in basically aiding the penguin population, and we have well over 300 nests on the island. And yeah, so this is one of our projects here on Dyer Island. So basically I would have to prepare all my equipment that I'll need on the island. prepare my rations, prepare things like, supplies and so forth for my stay on the island. I generally stay for about 3 weeks on the island, and then I rest for about a week. So in a year, I spend about 9 months living on Dyer Island, which can present its own little sort of, challenges and so forth. But there's a lot of things there are measures that are put in place to sort of assist with my time staying on the island. So basically, a typical day as well would be waking up early in the morning, grabbing a coffee, freshening up, and then starting my patrols as early as possible. So one of the reasons why we like to start as early, we don't want to interfere with the times that the penguins are navigating from sea, coming back to the nest as well. So it's very important that we time that very well. And yeah, basically going around to the different colonies, inspecting the conditions, looking for changes in behavioral patterns, looking for any injured, oiled or sick birds that need to be taken off the island. If there is such incidents, I would approach with caution, sort of take them to our hospital that we have here inside, and basically try to give them the necessary care that they need. If the damage or the injury is too extensive, I would basically communicate with APS, which is the African Penguin and Seabird Sanctuary, which is located in Gansbaai, and basically have them sent to the rehabilitation center to get, if there's necessary medication, get necessary treatment that the penguins actually need. So yeah, that's one of our main saving graces, is actually having a rehabilitation facility so nearby, which assists us on the island, and it helps with basically ensuring that we don't lose penguins unnecessarily. All right, so from a very early age, I've been passionate about conservation. I was fortunate enough to be exposed to wildlife from the age of 9 years old. So basically visited a place near Mossel Bay, which is where I'm from. So basically there were tigers there were lions, there were cheetahs, there were snakes, there's just basically a wide variety of biodiversity in that area, and I was fortunate enough to go there, and that experience definitely changed my life and shaped my life. I'm also someone who's been passionate about biology, sort of understanding why things work the way they do. So even at school, I was very passionate about biology. I was very curious, just a curious person, and sort of trying to do something that's just something different. So yeah, that's basically what brought me to conservation and working on a place as beautiful as Dyer Island Nature Reserve.